first kind of portion that I would say is your archaeology portion. See, the suggestion that I would give for you for archaeology portion is going to be try to ensure that you do what is given in the syllabus, right? What is given in the syllabus. So in your syllabus, you'll have, and let's talk about your syllabus, right? Really, really quick. When it comes to lower Paleolithic, okay, middle Paleolithic, your upper Paleolithic, right? And then your Meso, your Neo, okay, and then you can talk about your, what is it, Chalco, Bronze Age, okay, and then let's say Iron Age, Megalith, okay, and so on and so forth, right? And here you will have your IBC. So whatever is given in the syllabus, you know, north, east, west, south, right? North, east, west, south, or you know, a few regional sites. If you can just do this, and as long as you can basically remember whatever it is that you have studied, I think it is a very sort of good return on your investment. Okay, there are also years in which there are questions from outside of these, right? So you know, not the easiest of sort of questions. Okay, if the questions are not the easiest of questions, it is okay, it doesn't necessarily matter. You cannot dig any further. If you've already learned low Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic, upper Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Chalcolithic, Bronze Age, Iron Age, okay, and anything else that if I've missed, right? So if you've done all of these things from different parts of the country, okay, I think you have done a fabulous job. Okay, so if anything that is outside of it, trust me, it'll be very difficult for everybody else as well. Okay, and there is a reason why I mentioned that. There have been questions, you know, so generally the questions will be easy, moderate, and hard, right? Easy, moderate, and hard. When the questions are harder in this particular portion, it is sort of very difficult to sort of crack it, okay, because it is one of those questions where you're not going to be able to generate it, you're not going to be able to manufacture it. Okay, you know it or you don't know it. Okay, so that is going to be the kind of fun. But at least what you could possibly do is that you can link it to whichever phase it is and craft an answer. But that's pretty much it. But the specificities that you need to know will probably not be there. So I would say that it does not necessarily matter, because it is very, very difficult. You know, even if you go to some of the Bible when it comes to Indian archaeology, Indian prehistory by D.K. Bhattacharya, there are some questions in UPSC which are very hard to crack using even that. So always remember, you are an archaeological anthropologist, not an archaeologist. So itna technicalities mein nahi jana hai. You don't have to go to such great detail. At the same time, you know, if you've done this thing, just tell yourself, okay, all is well, right? All is well. Okay, so just go with all is well, and you go ahead and do this thing. Enough content on each of these sites. Okay, so you should be able to do this thing. See, I say that, you know, paper anthropology, they say, you know, diagrams generally help. Okay, I believe that diagrams help for certain things. Just because you have a diagram doesn't mean that you're going to get some extra goodie brownie points, right? But as long as it is relevant for that particular question, it will always help. But this will be a portion in which I would say that you can draw diagrams. Okay, it is very difficult to describe a particular tool. It is much easier, trust me, even if you're not the artistically inclined, and trust me, even if you're not artistically inclined, it is going to be easier to depict it than to describe it. Okay, it is going to take you less time. Okay, and at least so long as it looks like a particular tool, I think you should be totally fine. Generally, I say in most of the questions, you should not, I mean, try to keep your visual or you know, pictorial sort of depictions to within 60 seconds. But I would say when it comes to archaeology and all of that, you can take it all the way to 90 seconds. Show this, because at the end of the day, if you can show what the tools really look like, what the time period would have really been like, okay, that would, you know, that would do you know, a sort of great service for you. Okay, so it will contribute to a great extent. It will also make a very good sort of an impression in the examiner. Okay, so yahan pe thoda, if you can, even if you can take some extra time, that will be great. So for instance, these are the ones that these are mine. Okay, so you know, me and my not so great handwriting. Okay, or let's just put it in a better way, me and my awful handwriting. But if you see this, at least so this is what I used to do. 15 minutes, you know, towards the end of you know, the time period between your prelims and mains. If you can just go ahead and practice these things on a daily basis, I think you will get the hang of it. Even if you can do it for those 4 or 5 days, you know, before your mains, I think you should be able to still do this. All of these things is me practicing, you know, one particular set of diagrams within 60 seconds, not 90 seconds. I want to do it within 60 seconds, and it is totally possible. And if you can see, you know, some of these things could be, you know, some shading could possibly help, and so on and so forth. So again, now this is going to be the next one. So these kind of mistakes you do not want to be making. That is why, you know, a certain amount of practice will probably help you. But at least when you see this, you know exactly what the time period and the tools would have been at that particular time period. So these are rough diagrams, right? Rough sketches. Okay, but at least you can see that, okay, this is probably what the tool would have been like, right? Very simple. Okay, hafting. Okay, hafting during your middle Paleolithic. Okay, very, very simple, right? So it is basically the idea that, you know, you're using more than one sort of item and tying it and trying to create a more sophisticated kind of tool. So definitely showing that progress. So if you're showing that particular progress, you can, very, very simple, these are what, like, making of these basic kind of spears, right? So this is again, this is during the practice session. Okay. So this is the 60-second valor practice. Definitely possible. Okay. As long as you can show what these tools are. In fact, it could also be a little more, some analytical angle will be shown if you can show what is the baton de commandement, right? So this one, so this exactly what could be the kind of theories that are there to show what kind of tool this is, what could this have been used for? Is there something like that? No, that could also probably add. So harpoons, right? What are the harpoons for? Again, some more practice. So I hope you get the picture. Okay, Neolithic kind of tools. Very, very simple, but it should be something that you can do within 60 seconds, or possibly something that you can do within 90 seconds. Okay, so if you close your eyes, you should be able to think. And this was more like image memory for me. I know that the first one I have to draw is this, and second one this, and this, and this, and so on and so forth. Okay.